Hey everyone, it's Kayla from The Casual Crafter, and today we're going to be doing some Easter DIYs using mostly Dollar Tree items. This is a part of the Easter DIY challenge hosted by Heidi Sambol DIY. I'll leave a link to her channel down below, be sure and check her out. Also down below there will be a playlist linked with all the YouTubers and all their videos that they've made to be a part of this challenge, so be sure and check out their crafts as well. And if you're interested in seeing some Easter DIYs, be sure and stick around, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. So here I'm just taking this 6-pack of eggs that I got at Dollar Tree. I got them in the gold color just so they would all match, but it doesn't really matter. They have the speckled ones as well. I'm going to be trying to create these like cracked tops on them. So first I'm going to try using a box cutter, and that didn't really work very well. So I took these tiny little scissors I had. You can probably just use like pliers or like wire cutters. It would work the same, but it's a pretty hard plastic. And I just go through all 6 of them and kind of cut off the tops. But here I'm using just the hot glue gun to poke a hole in because it melts the plastic a little bit, just so I can get it started. And I repeat that process with all 6 of them, just trying to give them like that correct opening at the top. So once that's all done, I'm going to be painting them. I'm going to try and give them almost like a clay look. So I'm going to be taking a orangey brown color as well as some white acrylic paint and some baking soda just to thicken it up a bit. Once it's all mixed up, I'm going to give them a couple coats. Once those are done, I go back in with the second coat. So once those are all painted, I'm just going to be taking some of the Spanish moss. You can use any kind of moss that Dollar Tree has. This is just what I had on hand. And I'm just going to be rolling it into little balls and putting those in the eggs. And make sure you save that little carton they come in, and I'm just going to fill that with a little bit of moss as well so they can sit on top of it. And then I'm going to be taking these mini succulents I got. These actually came from similar style eggs that I got at Target in the dollar spot, but you could take one of these succulents at Dollar Tree and just kind of break some of the bits off and put it in there if you want. Or you can put a different kind of plant in there, like a flower or something. But if you can see, these are the little eggs I got at Target, and I just ripped the succulents out of them to put in my eggs, and I just put them in 3 of them. And I thought this was really cute. And up next, we're going to be making a over 3 feet tall little bunny form. So I'm going to be taking a couple of these 3D forms, the larger one and the smaller one that you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take them apart, and I'm going to be giving them a good coat of just this beige color paint. I believe it's called khaki. I would spray paint normally, however, it was freezing when I tried to do this, so I just went for the harder option, but by all means, spray paint if you can, but this always works too. Once everything has a good coat of paint, I'm going to be assembling the 3D forms into their sphere shapes. So I'm just going to use that little bracket that came with them. They were silver, I painted them as well. And this is me just putting the small one together. I did the same thing for the larger one as well. So here I'm just taking some raffia I got at Walmart. You can get it at Dollar Tree as well. I just couldn't find it at this time. So I got this bag at Walmart and I actually braided it, just 3 strands, and this was kind of a pain in the butt, so I don't recommend doing this exactly. I recommend just getting multiple strands and braiding those as opposed to doing 3 braids and braiding the 3 together. But in total I had to do quite a few of these, so it did add up, but it's kind of relaxing to do just watching TV. So I'm going to be gluing those braided raffia pieces onto each bit of the 3D form. I'm just going to be using some hot glue and attach it where needed. I do eventually just glue the entire thing like in a straight line on, but at first I started with the dots. And I just repeated that for all the different wire bits that it has on both the larger and smaller domes. Obviously for the larger dome you're going to need a larger piece of raffia. So here I'm attaching those 2 domes together. You can see I'm just taking more raffia and just kind of winding it around different rungs in the middle there until I get it tight enough, and I just tie that off and cut it. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in the middle just for some extra support, and then these little things sticking out were bothering me, so I just took some pliers and cut all those off. And now I'm going to make some feet for him. So I just took this egg that you can get at Dollar Tree. It's the largest one they have. And I'm just going to be giving it a coat of that khaki color again. And I just decided to mix in some baking soda to give it a better coverage. And here is the braiding that I recommend doing as opposed to what I did previously. So you get multiple strands and then you just braid those. And it makes a much larger braid and it's way easier than what I did previously. Here I'm just taking some wire that I got at Walmart. You can use the floral wire at Dollar Tree, I just didn't have any at this time. I'm just going to make an ear shape and cut that off, and then I'm just going to repeat the process to have 2 ears. I'm going to wrap those around each other just so they are attached together. And I'm going to use my pliers to kind of help me with that. And then I do use a little bit of hot glue just for some extra support. I don't know if it's necessary. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of masking tape and wrap that around again just for some extra support. The wire I got was not the thickest because they were out of it, but the floral wire at Dollar Tree I think is a bit thicker than this. You could always use like a metal coat hanger as well. So here I'm taking that thicker braid that I had, and I'm just going to be gluing that around the wire. And I glue that on both ears, and then attach it, and kind of try and cover it up in the middle where they come together, so it looks a little bit nicer. Here I'm just going to be taking more of that braided raffia and wrapping it around on my little feet that I have. I'm just going to continue wrapping it all the way around. I think this took me like 3 strands of braided raffia total for each foot. Maybe only 2.5, and then I used the other half on the other foot. I think starting from the outside and working your way in might actually work better than what I did here, but either way works. And once that's done, I'm just going to cut it off and make sure it's glued on there nicely. And I'm going to repeat the step for the other foot. Now here I'm going to figure out how I want to attach my 3D form. So I'm just going to mark where I have the little feet angled outward, and you see how that lines up with the different rungs on the 3D form. So once that's marked, I'm going to be using my hot glue gun to melt the plastic again. And I'm just going to go on one side and then go again on the other side because it was pretty thick plastic. We're going to be doing this so that we can add one of these, which is a zip tie. So we can just zip tie it in place and pull it as tight as possible. That did take some finagling, but eventually I got there once you have it lined up where you want. And then I went to stand it up and it fell right over. So I decided I needed to put some weight in the feet, and this worked out fine because you're not going to see it. So I just glued some of these rocks I had. I did end up having to add a few more than what you see here, but then it worked out fine. And I just attached the ears, just kind of using a twist or tie motion to tie them on. And then I must have misplaced my footage for making this little tail, but it's just like how you make a pom-pom or anything like that. And then I just tie that on the back there. And then I use one of these jumbo popsicle sticks, and I'm just gonna glue that to the feet so that it has a little more support and it stays in place, the feet do. Yeah, and I think this turned out really cute. It's like over 3 feet tall. Up next, we're going to be taking some of those eggs again that you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm going to be taking those out of the package there. I'm going to be painting 3 of them black, just with a black acrylic paint. And then I'm going to paint the other 3 just white with this Waverly white chalk paint that I had. And I do end up going back and giving them each another coat. So once that's double coated, I can start designing on them. And I just kind of went with whatever I felt like at the time, using the black on the white and the white on the black. So I'll just kind of speed you through my different little designs here. But I found this super relaxing, and it was a lot of fun to do. I think the contrast of the colors looks really nice though. So once those are all done, I'm just going to be taking this green moss that I had. This wasn't from Dollar Tree, but I know Dollar Tree sells a similar one. And then I'm just going to put that in the carton and just align my eggs in it. And I didn't see enough of the moss showing through, so I added a little bit more to the top. And I think the pop of green really looks nice with the contrasting black and white colors here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure and like and comment down below what your favorite item I made today was. Also, be sure and check me out over on Instagram. It's @thecasualcrafter. And again, a big shout out to Heidi Sombel for setting up this whole thing. And be sure and check out all the others in the playlist. Thanks again. Bye!